Today for Primetime Local News, I'm joined with the Mayor of Cold Lake, Craig Copeland, to talk about their city transit system and a grant that they just received from Alberta Relief. So thank you so much, Craig, for joining us here today.
Anytime. Yeah.
So Alberta Relief has provided a grant for your transit system to help with any COVID-19 pandemic-related stresses that the transit system may have seen. So how much was Alberta Relief providing for you guys?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be just around $123,000, which is fantastic. Really appreciate the province providing this kind of relief for the transit operators in Alberta. For us, our transit's kind of unique. It's one of the few free transits in Canada, and we've been operating a free transit for many years here now. So, this money will go towards all the money that we've spent towards COVID. We had to do a lot of cleaning and etc. during the operation. So this money will go to, we'll have no problem putting that money toward all of those expenses.
And have you seen any struggles with your transit system relating to the pandemic over the past few years?
Well, I think the only real issue was, making sure that people were wearing their masks because, of course, it was regulated, right? And so some people didn't want to wear their mask, and for the drivers, they had to do the enforcement. So there, at times there was a bit of an issue, but everybody cooperated. We tried to social distance on the bus as much as we can. You sort of had X's on seats where you couldn't utilize. But all in all, everybody did a great job, and we provided masks if you didn't have a mask. But yeah, just follow the procedures, or you wouldn't get on the bus.
And what will this funding be going towards specifically?
Yeah, so you have to sort of identify all the expenses that you did send. So, the hand sanitizers, the masks, we had to do a lot of janitorial service on the bus, the cleaning. So that took a lot of money and effort. And we also modified our bus shelter somewhat during COVID. So, expenses on that add up. And, we didn't see a tremendous drop in our ridership. People, utilize the transit just as much as because, it's the only way to get around, right? And so, but we'll have no problem finding expenses for the funding. So, it's going to be a big helping hand. I would appreciate the province doing that.
So how do you feel that this will help the community and those who use the transit system?
Yeah, transit, we operate, it's about almost $1 million a year out of our city budget. We've been doing that. It's sort of to help people get around the city. If you want to get around very fast, we encourage you to take a taxi. But it's a pretty simple route, north and south. Our city is spread out so much, but a lot of the high school kids use the transit to get to and from school, to go to jobs later in the afternoon, and then we run a Saturday. Our bus route is very popular with the young people to get to some of the recreation facilities. We keep it free. We're trying to help the business community get workers who are scattered all around the city that may not have transportation, or maybe just have one vehicle, get to their job utilizing the transit system.
And do you feel that this funding will help make it more efficient and comfortable for those who use it?
I think what I'll do is the money will help us offset our costs. Like I said, it's about $1 million to operate a year. We bring in about $50,000 in revenue through advertising on the bus. So any helping hand just lowers the deficit and just makes it that much more affordable. Because council wants to keep it free. We see the benefit. It's built into our budget already. So we're just a small transit player. I mean, very tough for big cities to operate a free transit, but it's just going to help for sure. I mean, going down the road when you could set the budget for next year by having a helping hand by the province, everything's going to help. Every nickel helps.
And is there anything else that you would like to mention?
Transit has been blessed in Cold Lake by getting a lot of federal and provincial grants to purchase buses. And so, we're pretty proud. The staff do a great job. The contractor that drives for us does a great job. And, we have beautiful buses and a great design on the coloration on the buses. And the community has really stepped forward in utilizing the bus. So it's been a real win-win for business community and all the residents of Cold Lake.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hey, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me.